Welcome back to Inclusion Revolution. I'm Tova, your host, and I'm really glad that Paul's joining us for the news segment of our show. But just before we get into that, I wanted to again thank Natasha from Reachability, not just for coming in and talking a little bit about the services at Reachability, which again you can hear more about at reachability.org, but also for self-identifying. It's very difficult for people with disabilities often to self-identify because of the natural stigma that comes with it. And I was really pleased that she was able to come on and not just talk about what her agency is doing in support of removing social isolation for persons with disabilities, but also her own challenges. And I think that's what it's really about, is being able to stand up and say, this is part of who I am, but it's not who I am, and I will overcome it. And that's certainly one of the messages of the Inclusion Revolution. Now back to Paul, who's going to tell us some of the cutting edge news coming out of the world this week. And Paul, what's some of the really relevant issues that you saw for our listeners this week?
Well, one of the interesting items this week, Tova, is the new Registered Disability Savings Plan for persons with disabilities. That opens up the door to 280,000 Canadians are now eligible for this new product offered by the federal government. And what it does is it allows up to $70,000 in Canada Disability Savings Grants and up to $20,000 in Canada Disability Savings Bonds. Now, there are some restrictions to it in the fact that you will deposit funds to it up to $200,000 over a lifetime, or you can do it for a beneficiary. So, for example, parents can actually contribute for their children, or you could contribute for a spouse, you could contribute for a relative.
So for a person with disability, because it's a disability plan.
Exactly. And to qualify, basically, it's a tax-deferred savings plan. You go up to $200,000, and you can get the government will offer these grants on a yearly basis.
So this is a grant program that assists parents or persons with disabilities in putting money away for that person with disability, either themselves or, as you said, a family member.
Exactly.
This is relatively new.
It's brand new. It's there for the long term. So it's there to stimulate long-term growth. It's not to put money in and simply take it out, because there will be penalties, and it's tax deferred, so you do pay taxes.
RSP style stuff.
Exactly. Follows along the same lines.
So is there a website or anywhere we should send our listeners?
There definitely is a website. You can go to www.rdsp.com.
Okay.
And that will give you some information on the Registered Disability Savings Plan.
Okay, so that's pretty important stuff, and really anybody living with a disability should be looking into this, whether it's them or a member of their family, and seeing whether they fit. And I know they have a great 800 number, because I've called it, and they have a lot of great people with good information on whether or not you fit or how you could fit into this plan. So I really appreciate that information. And what else is going on, Paul?
There was an interesting article back in December out of the Canada West News Service about a woman who was refused service in a coffee shop in British Columbia. Basically, she's been using the coffee shop for a number of years. Went in in November and had a mishap in which she got stuck in the bathroom, dislodged one of the sinks, and was unaware of it. Apparently, she was stuck in the bathroom and needed help over and was calling out for a number of minutes. But the owner barred her from the establishment after that, saying that.
Now, am I assuming she's a person with physical disability?
She's a person with physical disability, and for mobility purposes, she relies on a wheelchair.
Oh, so this is a person who uses a wheelchair who's been going to this coffee shop for a very long time. And recently, she was at the coffee shop in the bathroom, got stuck in the bathroom in an attempt probably to get herself in her chair, pulled on the sink, which I, by the way, have seen many times. By the way, if you've got a wheelchair accessible bathroom, check your sink and make sure it's well secured. And basically, because of the destruction to the bathroom, the proprietor has banned her as a client to come in for coffee.
Asked her not to come back to the coffee shop.
Wow. So where's that going?
This is going, well, there has been a complaint under the BC Human Rights Commission. Basically, it kind of goes back to our show earlier with Natasha. How does that further isolate this woman's social? Her social network is going to that coffee shop on a daily basis. Her social network just became a lot smaller by being banned from that establishment.
And for the purpose of being a devil's advocate for me, because I'm having a hard time seeing the owner's perspective. What's this owner saying? In their own mind, I realize what they're saying, but what do they think they're saying by barring this person?
I think they're saying that she caused damage. She caused, like she went in and maliciously caused damage to the establishment, and therefore she's not welcome back. Which is not the case at all.
Wow. That's so not the inclusion revolution that I dream of, is it?
No.
But we hear stories like this all the time, don't we? And it really is something that we've talked about a lot, which is the limits of accessibility in environments that again lead to that very social isolation. There's actually very few coffee shops in Halifax that are totally accessible when you think about stairs, bathrooms. People often say, well, you can get in the door, but then I find the bathroom door is this narrow, down 50 stairs,
right,
down the hall and around the corner.
Or once you're in, how do you turn around?
Or how do you even turn around and get out?
Right.
So we understand that, sometimes I know establishments consider themselves to be really, really accessible, but actually aren't. And this is certainly a perfect example of that. Now, Paul, I know we have a poll of the week, and it does relate to your first story. And so for this week, everybody, I hope you're going to go to inclusionrevolution.com and vote and have your voice be heard, because that's what it's all about. And our poll is around the RDSP, or Registered Disability Savings Plan. Have you, or are you considering opening an RDSP? And I hope the answer is yes if it fits for you. But come online to inclusionrevolution.com. Let us know what you think. Next week, we're excited to have Brian Aird from Entrepreneurs with Disabilities Network to talk about entrepreneurship for persons with disabilities. Again, I thank you, Paul, for all the research you're doing. Check out inclusionrevolution.com and come visit us next week here on Eastlink on Monday nights at 9 and Sunday nights again at 8. For Inclusion Revolution, come on back. We welcome you. Hi, this is Tova, your host on Inclusion Revolution here on Eastlink every Monday night at 9 and again Sunday nights at 8. Please join us this week as we have a wonderful guest from Reachability, Natasha Chestnut, to talk about some of the challenges of social isolation for persons with disabilities across the country. I hope you'll be here to ask some good questions and get on the website and check it out. We'll see you then.